like a lot of memes.
Those are good memes.
This year was just memes.
Thoughtful banter. Sometimes thoughtful, mostly banter. All the memes.
Let's get right into it. Okay, we're going to talk about problems in the Muslim community that annoy us. And I think what's the most relevant thing to talk about first is diversity, bro. Because this is something that you just see keep coming up again and again. And it's so evident the problems of diversity in the community. It's so evident to see this problem whenever anything in the world happens.
Mm.
Masters are basically separated by race.
That's true.
Like, you're just separated by race. I know we're in the DMV. I'm not going to say the name of any place, but one of the larger centers in the DMV, about like a 20, 50 years, 20, 30 years ago, it used to have Afghans, Iranians, white people, black people, everybody. Converts, everybody. And then I think, at some point, everyone started making their own space because the masjid, which was primarily Iranians, weren't accommodating to every single other people. So everyone started making their own masjid. And now, we're in 2021.
We're all split up again.
Yeah, we're all split up again, which is the purpose of Islam. To have your own masjid for each race.
It's kind of natural to a certain extent. That's not an excuse for it. But people like being with themselves. People like being among people that they know. And that's why, the Quran explicitly says, we made you into different tribes and people so that you get to know each other. But it's that getting to know each other part that's difficult. Especially when there's potential cultural clashes, which is what a lot of these people are thinking of. Again, this is not an excuse. I'm just telling you kind of the reasoning. I'm sure you know, but this is the reason why people do it.
But what's crazy is that we literally do the opposite of what Quran says. In many cases. So many of our problems, so many of our problems that we have in the communities aren't problems that we have that are problems like, I'm trying to follow Islam, I'm trying to be a good Muslim, and I'm being oppressed by whoever because I'm doing that. I'm a Muslim, I call myself a Muslim. I don't want to follow Islam because this one part of Islam I don't like. So I'm not even open to the solution Islam gives me. You know what I'm trying to say? We know from the Prophet's time, I'm sure you can correct me if I'm wrong, scholars saying,
kill yourself.
We see and of course we all know this, Sunni and Shias, we all know this, we talk about the companions who married into a different race. We talk about Bilal, we talk about, there's another, I don't know his name, but there's another black companion who I remember the hadith because basically he liked one Arab woman and her father was like, no. And Prophet Muhammad literally went to the father, was like, marry her, bro. So we know these things, but when it comes down to ourselves, it's different, bro. That was that. But me, bro, us, bro, let's be realistic, bro.
Let's be realistic.
There are cultural differences, and there definitely are cultural differences. I don't think that you should just marry someone just for the sake of diversity.
Yeah, definitely.
No. But we're at the point where we just don't ever want to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think just something really practical to do is we need to be like our neighbors. You know what I'm trying to say? If you live in an area and there are black people and you live in, if you're in America, you're gonna live in an area where there are black people. If you don't have any black acquaintances, friends, people you care about, you care for as a neighbor or something, that might be I think that's the simplest way to go about it.
Yeah, it makes might make it easier to make that next step. So say if you're friendly neighbors with not even just a black person, an Asian person, a black person, whoever. Yeah. Right? And then you see
we're just so focused on being comfortable.
Isn't that, what's the hadith, you're supposed to know 40 neighbors down?
Yeah.
40
I don't know 5. That's not for a lot. I'm not where we should be.
And to your point though, I've definitely walked into different massages, different centers, and literally walked in, sat down, and had not a single person look at me.
Astaghfirullah.
Not a single person. They'll look at me. They'll give me a little longer stare.
No one say salam.
No one says salam. No one introduced me. They're close to me.
First time walking in there, or multiple times.
First time, or sometimes multiple. I'll go multiple times in a year, for example, but it might be 3 months apart or something like that. There's certain places I don't go just because no one there says anything.
That's why.
I'll only go with my boys, for example. Like if I know a group of people are going.
I think I know what you're talking about. That reminds me of the time
Mhm.
when me and you were going to, we're leaving the center.
Mhm.
We're there for Muharram. We're leaving there like around like 12 a.m. Pretty late, and it's like super, super, super packed. If you've been to the Masjid in Muharram, you know, super packed. So one of the you know how they have the youth volunteering in the parking lot with the glow sticks, like, "Well, go," so you would have park.
Parking and stuff.
Yeah, and we're leaving, and I say salam to people, bro. Like, especially when I'm really happy to be around Muslims.
Yeah.
So whenever I can, I say salam.
That way, yeah.
Yeah.
Condition.
It's just, to me, that's just what you do. So like we're pulling away, and the guy's like, "Hey guys, thanks for coming," and I'm like, "No problem, bro. Salam." But he said like, "Thanks for coming." Like that's weird. Like I've never been hit with a "thanks for coming" before. When I'm like with my mom in the car, she has that job.
Yeah.
And we're like, "Salam." I say salam, you say salam, and the guy said, "Word, man. See you later." And I was just thinking, oh my God, does he think we're converts?
Yeah. I mean, I just want to be clear. There's nothing wrong with being a convert, but I think, and it might not seem like a big deal to people, I guess, who are like within already like I guess accepted within these different communities, but it just feels very othering. Yeah. It feels very othering. Like you're like, wow, I'm really just different.
Yeah.
And here I am supposed to be with my Muslim brothers, and we're supposed to be one in our Islam, one in our, like unified in that way. And it's like made very clear that like you're something different.
Very clear. I mean, I'm just so shook that I said something to this guy twice in his face.
Mm.
No alaikum salam. I mean, maybe like I can't prove that he thought we were converts. Maybe he just didn't know how to say alaikum salam.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, 70 excuses, but I also think it's not a
72, right?
It's 72 excuses. Yeah. It's a reasonable assumption to make that if someone's at a masjid or at an Islamic event or at a religious event, that they're Muslim. And if they're not, the worst case scenario, you say, "Oh, my bad, I thought you were a Muslim. Hi, how are you?"
Yeah, my bad. I came up with the most logical conclusion.
Exactly.
Based on like where we are.
Exactly.
On what you are, yeah.
And I think sometimes it's actually people actually do that in an effort to be like welcoming, but sometimes you just have to be aware of like the opposite effect that you might have.
Bro, it's like it's so funny because it's like completely. It's so like, it shows how much it's in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you think you're being welcoming, right? But the problem is like you assume the guy was a convert because of the color of his skin, basically. Like if you're at a center and everyone else is, brown, for example, right? Or not the predominant race, whatever it might be, right? And you see other people, it's like, oh, must be American, And I think it's also because like white,
even if they're American though, like
American
can be
it's so, I'm sorry, that's just dumb.
Yeah, I mean, I had someone. It was like me and 3 other people who were like obviously Iranian.
Yeah.
Obviously Iranian looking. And the guy came up to us, and he knew the other 3, and he goes, "Salam, salam, salam," and he comes to me, and he goes, "Hi." And I go, "Walaikum salam," and then he just walks away.
He walked away? Like did he look shook?
No, I mean I don't.
His brain didn't even process
the
black guy in front of him saying salam. Like you open your mouth, you say salam, you heard, "Hi there, bro." Like God, it makes my head hurt. I think people need to get out their bubbles. Mm-hmm. Like anyone like that, it's like, bro, you only go to the one center.
You
must only go to the one center.
Type of people.
It's like you just need to see more people, and like that's one thing I'm grateful for. Not I'm half white, half Iranian, as I've already stated 1,000 times. Like I'm logic, but
biracial, black and white.
White and right. But it's like not being like being more like I guess American flavored, for lack of a better description, forced me to like go to different centers. You know that better than me. So it's like it forces you to be out of your comfort zone. Like you see other cultures, and then like now like it's hard to get surprised. Like I'm sure if I go to like a I don't know, I've never been to like a Yemenis masjid, for example. When I go there and they start doing something that's just different, I'm not gonna be like, "Are y'all Muslim?"
Yeah.
Like, bro, I'm in a masjid, I'm just like, they're Muslim, bro. This is a cultural difference. Like we've been to Iranian, Iraqi, Afghani, It's a Sudanese. Yeah, Sudanese. But yeah, good stuff. I'm optimistic about the future for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the problem is that the kids, and I'm not saying this just like out of thin air. Like I witnessed it. Like a lot of the guys, even our generation, guys and girls,
Yeah.
they're so comfortable in just identifying in their race before being Muslim that they make me scared that they're going to have the same issues as their fathers and mothers. Yeah.
And their grandmas and their mothers and stuff like that. Yeah. And we've both been at events where there was definitely like a heavy dominant culture, and no one cared to kind of extend the olive branch to anyone who was outside of it.
It's alienating.
Very alienating.
Especially because like you said, like it wouldn't be a problem if you like extended the hand. But the problem is like you're just saying it and you're just expecting everyone else to be on the exact same page. It's like, bro, I might not be Iranian, I might not be Pakistani, I might not be Afghan. Like, how do I know these things? Like, I don't know what you're saying, bro. And the thing is, like, they're so like the culture and the religion just become embedded with one another that if you don't get what they're saying, that is a cultural reference. They're thinking you're not getting a religious reference.
Sometimes, yeah.
Because they don't know which one is which at that point. They don't know.
It's been such a mix, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not to say culture is bad either.
Yeah.
To make that distinction.
Yeah.
If something doesn't hurt your practice of religion, if you have a cultural practice that doesn't hurt your practice of religion, then there's no issue in that. But obviously, it's when they start being confused with each other and mixed up where it becomes problematic.
Yeah. Just get lost.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that is a great segue to the next topic that I had in mind, which was marriage. Because
I mean, you talked about marriage in the beginning. I don't know what's the segue, but anyways.
Segue. I'm just going to make it and force that segue. No organic, nothing. We're talking about marriage right now. But I do think that the topics are heavily related. Because, I mean, how often, like, I mean, if you... Are you on Reddit?
Not really, no.
Okay. If you're on Reddit...
Wall Street Bet.
We got to talk about that. God, that makes me want to switch the topic. But no. Like, if you're on Reddit, like, Muslim marriage, right? Cringe that I'm saying, I've been on there. But there's some decent advice here and there. But you see, like, so many of the problems people have, it's just marriage and culture. So, like, I'm not gonna give this. I will give this statistic. 99.9. 99.9 of people struggle.
Actually, that's a Pew Center research study.
Pew, yeah, absolutely. Check it out. tbstatistics.org. But anyways, I mean, culture, nationality, race get in the way of a lot of people getting married. A lot of people getting married. And marriage, whenever I do research on it, it sounds like it should be really simple.
It should be
simple.
Not necessarily
easy.
Easy.
Yeah. Not easy, but simple. Yeah.
The process is pretty direct, straightforward.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, if you're compatible with someone, you like someone, you guys are both on haq, you think they'll be a good spiritual spouse, get married again.
Yeah.
Sorry.
More or less.
Get married, yeah. More or less. I guess there's complications here and there, but like, genuinely get married. But what we have right now is, whoa, are they from the motherland? Like,
Or do they have this degree? Do they go to this school? Do they have this job?
Yeah.
Do they make this much money? And these shouldn't be primary factors, but oftentimes they are. I was gonna say, they just shouldn't be primary things you're worrying about. The first thing you should be worrying about is his akhlaq.
Yeah.
His or her akhlaq, their practice of religion. Those are the first two primary things you should be worrying about, and then everything else is secondary, tertiary, and later.
It's so weird because, like I said earlier, right? As Muslims, we have problems.
But also, a lot of times, that's like the last thing. Sorry, just to finish my point. That's like the last thing that's considered. It's like...
What is the last thing considered?
Islam,
yeah.
Yeah, it's like, did he go to this school? First of all, is he from us? Okay, he's from us, check.
Yeah.
Did he go to this school? All right. Did he finish
that
school?
Good degree.
Did he have,
safe
what's his degree? Exactly. Did he have this job?
He is guaranteed
now he has this job. Now, how much money is he making in this job?
Because, bro, the job guarantees... What the heck? The job guarantees a risk. Not God. That's what what people be thinking.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro. Like, I mean, that sounds radical to a lot of people. And I think, like, to an extent, that notion is, but it's like, okay, why are we getting married? Because God says so, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're getting married because God said so. Why are we choosing how we get married not on God?
Not on the parameters.
Not on the parameters he's in.
Yeah.
Why? It's so stupid. There's no other way of phrasing it. It's just dumb. Like, if you're getting married because of God, why are you picking your spouse like for Shaitan, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? What is this, bro? It's just like a little, like, a little Shaitan, a little like Islam mixed in a bundle. Like, what is this? I don't understand. I mean, I hear stories. We all hear terrible stories of potential marriages being called off for the most stupid things. And, I guess to an extent that's good the person didn't marry the person who has the wrong values. But it's wrong that should have even happened. Like, why is it, like, you hear crazy stuff about parents, bro. Crazy stuff.
Horror story.
Yeah. And make it worse is, man, in Islam, when the parent wilding out, what you do?
You listen.
You listen. These are all rough situations, though.
Yeah, I mean, it can make it very complicated. I just want to be clear, like, obviously, like, if someone is a complete bum, right, but they're like in their house all day praying like every salat, every mustahab salat,
praying
right?
for that bag.
they're praying all their salat, doing all their salat, doing all their mustahab salat. They're fasting extra, but all they do is like a hermit in their mom's house or a hermit in their mom's basement. And so like something like that. That's not what we're advocating for either, and I would say that's not even the Islamic ideal.
What?
Like,
if you're listening to this and you even had to like hear that explanation, bro, what is wrong with you? Like it's not hard to find the knowledge of what Islam wants us to do.
Yeah, we're very much discouraged from being like monks cooped up, like only praying to God.
There's a great book called Marriage and Morals by Sayyid Muhammad Rizvi, and he, mashallah. Shout out to Sayyid, mashallah. He breaks it down. I think everyone should check out that book if you're watching. It's for free. You can get it on Al-Islam. Yeah, just search up Marriage and Morals by Sayyid Muhammad Rizvi. PDF is entirely free. And he breaks that down. Like, there's so many hadith of basic Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, getting riled up whenever he saw a man who like wasn't working. Yeah. Or was being quote unquote too spiritual. And I think this is like something that like people just get mixed up. Like, I'm being more spiritual because I'm praying, and it's like,
and I'm not doing anything else.
Yeah, it's like being spiritual is doing or being the person God wants you to be. Does God want you to pray all day?
At the times you need to be those things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Does God want you to pray all day? So
there's a time and a place for you to be alone by yourself making your prayers to God. That's just not supposed to be 24/7 because it is your responsibility to provide for your family. Yeah. It is your responsibility to look after your affairs. Like, that's what you're supposed to do.
But again, like I need to go back on this point where it's like, how do we mess up? Like, we have this knowledge. We have the knowledge. We just don't want to do research. We you cannot.
It's hard. Literally, it's
what was hard.
It's I'd say
hard to do the right thing or hard to get the information.
Hard to do the right thing. Yeah,
I agree with that.
It's hard to do the right thing, and again, it's hard to be uncomfortable. Like you said, we started out this conversation with this very like subject.
Yeah, hard to be uncomfortable.
It's hard to be uncomfortable. It's a skill to learn to be able to be comfortable being uncomfortable. You know,
that's awful banter. That right there, this guy, mashallah, he's a thoughtful on the banter.
No.
Yeah, that's what it is. Don't be humble.
Anyways.
You see, you're saying it's just a matter of like just being uncomfortable.
It's a matter of people realizing that they even have these habits to begin with. And then it's a matter of people saying, okay, I want to fix this. A lot of time and so if people actually make it to the first part where they realize that something might not be operating as functionally as it should be, then it's like, well, do I want to change? I'm kind of vibing. Like,
I'm chilling.
Exactly. Like,
I make all my slides on time. I don't know about that, but they in.
Pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got my shit once every 6 months in my stuff for a while. Like, I mean, no hate on the person. I should say no hate on the person doing that if you're watching. we're not saying like we're not being judgy, you know, but it's just like be uncomfortable, bro. I don't see. It's just to me, it's just amazing because again, we have these problems that we have specific problems that as Muslims we have specific Muslim problems, but then we don't use Islamic solutions. It's really weird. So it makes you think like we have to. I feel like myself. I'm just speaking for myself personally. In my life, whenever I am struggling with something that's a Muslim problem, I think to myself, is this a Muslim problem? I'm like, okay, yeah. Am I choosing to be a Muslim? Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Then if I'm going to have the Muslim problem, let me have the Muslim solution. It doesn't make any sense. Like you got a lot of, you know, young brothers, young sisters are in college, single, they're frustrated. Every single person around you is dating. The ugliest person you know is dating in a relationship. Everyone's dating. So like, okay, that's the Muslim struggle. That's like the religious kid struggle, right? That's religious kid struggle.
I heard a lecture and it was like, you know, these kids are on these college campuses and everyone that they know is like having these relationships, and the only people who are single are the losers and the religious kids.
Even the losers, bro. We both know that. Even the losers.
And the losers. And also, I guess that's not like, obviously the relationships that those people have are not the relationships that we're seeking and the relationships that we want. But marriage done properly, right, should be a vehicle to get you to the afterlife. And we have plenty of sayings and like things encouraging that to happen at a younger age.
I mean, again, the problem is you're lonely, you're frustrated, you're single. Every single person around you is in a physical relationship. Well, that's what it feels like, at least. And then you don't want to get married. Like, what the? Why not?
Why?
And you don't want to get married. Why? I think sometimes, I will say sometimes, people just aren't ready for marriage. So sometimes it's like, no, you shouldn't be trying to get married. Yeah. You need therapy first. Seriously. No disrespect. You need some therapy. My guy. You know, you got something. You got something to heal. Yeah, you need to heal your heart, your mind. You got some things loose up in there. But in many cases, it's you don't want to get married because you also have some Western values you haven't addressed yet. You want to get married because you don't want to be poor and married. You want to be rich and married. Why? Why? You just need a cardboard box. You don't need it all yet. No, oh my God. Some parents watch this like, you see? That's why we don't let them marry our daughters young. Because men want one thing is disgusting. I'm just so confused, oh my God. Like, you see a lot of people, right, who get their lives together when they're young. There are a lot of people. It's not uncommon for people to be in school and working at their own place. They make it work out.
Yeah. Also, like, if your family's there to support you, you can do it. You have the...
And I know people have families that will support
them. Your options become a lot more open. You know? Especially if you have your family backing you. And I think you hit the nail on the head. Yeah. Like, people have these... Like, people have subliminally accepted these Western values that take precedence over the solutions that we're giving Islamically.
Yeah.
Beautifully put. And that's basically the issue from everything that we started talking about from the beginning of the conversation, from diversity or lack thereof and interactions in the masjid, and now to marriage amongst young adults. It's sad, bro. It's sad because you literally see people struggling. Whenever I always think about it like this, like if I'm struggling with something, I'm not like a special snowflake. There's like probably at least a million other humans on Earth who have my exact same situation. At least a million, honestly. At least a million. Right? Like there can't be that many different kinds of people. All right. So I'm thinking, okay, dude, people are struggling. You know? I mean, you're still in school. Yeah.
You know what it's like better than me. I was only in school for 1 semester. And school was the first time I had freedom. And I got on campus, and after like the second day, I was like, my background, I'm just, good old religious boy. Goody two shoe. Always in the master's program. I was in college, and I looked around, and I was like, dude, I could do whatever I want here. And if anyone who's Muslim catches me, they won't snitch on me because I'll snitch on them. I won't tell if you don't. And that was like the first time like that freedom hit me, and I was just thinking like, wow, how are people doing this? And that's when I figured out, okay,
They're
I have
not.
to start trying to get married.
Yeah. Most people don't have the kind of restraint that you have. And again, this is not to say that they're blameless in how they go about, I guess, fulfilling certain desires. They're absolutely not blameless. They absolutely are going to be held accountable for that. But a lot of them do that because marriage is not made an option to them by their families. You know, a lot of times it's like, oh no, finish school,
Get the money first.
get the money,
And then Allah will give you
finish
rest.
school, get a job, finish school, get a job.
Yeah.
Make sure you're in the job. So be there for 2 years.
Get 5 years.
5 years.
Get your 401k.
And then get married.
Get the house car first. You have to be tricked out as well.
You know, and it's like,
Yeah.
bro, I'm here.
It's so difficult.
I get here at 18. You know, some younger, some older. And
Yeah.
I'm here for 4 more years.
What do
and
they
you want me
think?
to do?
What are the parents thinking kids are going to do though? I think maybe there's a generational difference as well. Like I feel like my dad, when he was in school in America, like I feel like, you know, I hate to sound like Joe Rogan, but like life is a lot easier now. Like we are like, I think, weaker minded. Like the average person now is probably weaker minded than their grandparents. Right? Like, so I feel like, you know, our parents came here, they came from the motherland and like they're immigrants, at least like many of us, right? Like they're immigrants and they have Muslim identity and they're here and they're like, they have like a different kind of drive and hunger. You know what I'm trying to say? And a lot of the times they came here with their wives.
I was gonna say.
So they were broke, but they were married.
Exactly.
And they had like a taste of that struggle, but it's different whenever you're American and then like you're in the culture and you realize, you know, you can go somewhere and be a different person like that. Even like, especially Muslim guys, you just call me Mo.
Yeah.
Muhammad turned to Mo.
I had
real
a
quick.
I had a classmate this semester.
Yeah.
He introduced himself as Momo.
Mm.
His name was Muhammad. He introduced himself as
Mashallah.
Momo. And I was like, Momo.
What he looked like? Could you tell like he wasn't like?
I didn't see him. I didn't see him.
It was all good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. People be having their fun, and I mean, like again, like I feel for them, and I just want to say it's important. Like, dude, like I feel like people get caught up in the sin, and then they start identifying with the sin. But I think it's important to say, like, at the end of the day, right? Allah's all like forgiving and merciful. Dude, you know, like it's never too late. Like you see you're walling out. At the end of the day, it's okay. But, like, I mean, I hate to say like just I'm no one to judge your sin. I'm just saying like, bro, like repent. You know, we see in Quran, right? So the people of zina are made for the people who do zina, except if they like repent and then they good, bro. It's like it's that simple.
Type B.
Yeah, type B.
We'll put the eye on the screen.
With the eye on the screen. Yeah, so it's just like, you know, like we get comfortable. We get comfortable being comfortable. We don't want to be uncomfortable. But then at the same time, I just want to backtrack again. Like the parents also many times are helping their kids. Like you're telling your 18-year-old, right? I know you're struggling in school right now. Don't worry. After you graduate, I'll find you a wife. Brother. You understand the options in college?
It's more like this. I know you're struggling in school right now.
Yeah.
Keep struggling.
Keep struggling.
Until you get to the point where I feel comfortable.
Back in my day, I was only a wife.
And then we'll get you a wife. And again, like to your point, which is kind of very hypocritical to how they were. Because a lot of them got married young or came over with their wives, you know? Or
they were broke, had nothing at all. Had nothing.
You know? Yeah. And then I think maybe some of them don't have maybe the reason why you were able to make it through that is because you were married, you know? Maybe the opportunities you were given were because you were married.
Yeah. And I would say even if they're not married, the options are still different with social media. Like social media lets you feel like you're invisible. Like, I mean, for lack of a better word, it's like the way the algorithm and everything's set up, right? It's as specific as this. If I go on Instagram right now, and I don't mean to be crass, but I'm just saying what happens on Instagram. If I go to Instagram and I'm on the Explore page, and there's different pictures of models. If I like a picture of if there's different pictures, one of a white girl, one of a black girl. If I like the picture of the black girl and then refresh my Explore page, Instagram's going to give me more pictures of models who are black. So like there is an entire system that is literally analyzing your psychology, your sexuality, and is trying to use that against you.
Mm.
I just like this is like shaitan, bro. Like to an extent, like the way it's being used against us in many different cases. So it's like, you know, whether you, even if you're not dating somebody, bro, you can also be looking at very haram stuff online.
Mm.
You know, not even going, you know, just on Instagram, right? And then on top of that, there's Tinder. You know, you make a Tinder account, no profile picture, quick bio, Bumble, swipe, Hinge. There's a lot of options. There's more options out there for people to do haram than halal.
Absolutely.
And it's way, way, way easier.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. All right. So thank you guys so much for watching this podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, please, we appreciate if you like this video. Comment down below. Subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this on any kind of other social media platform, you know, give it a 5-star ratings. You know what to do. Give it love and support. Share it to someone. Make sure you guys support the podcast. We also have a Patreon page. Patreon.com/thoughtfulbanter. If you want to support the series, if you want to potentially get content earlier, if you want to pick what we talk about, if you have any questions that you want us to answer, just want our personal opinions on, let us know on Patreon. Hope you guys are doing well, and peace out.
That looked like a lot of memes.
Those are good things.
This year was just me.
Thoughtful banter. Sometimes thoughtful, mostly banter. All the memes.